Hi, my name is Christopher David Mitchell. I'm a coach, and today we're going to be talking about how to stop self-sabotaging, bad habits and addictions once and for all. Now, this episode sort of really does dovetail with last week's episode where I talked about the brain, behavior, body connection and sort of how life works in an inside-out fashion. So I encourage you to watch that one first if you haven't done, and then come back to this, because this is more of an advanced video now on that first root inside connection that actually affects all of your life going forward. So we're diving deep into the root issues here to get the best results for your life. So if you know that you are self-sabotaging, that you've got some addictions, that you don't like, that you're a bit sort of lazy, or you're a bit down, or you're a bit lonely, or anything that's not right, that's a bit negative in your life, quote unquote, although everything's cool, but this will help you today get a root solution to your issue. So what are the root solutions? Where do all our problems in life come from? Whether it be autoimmune diseases, like I say, or depression, or loneliness, or anxiety, or anything. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. Everyone's different. Some of these could be hereditary. Some of these could be like clinical. But I'm just talking about the general masses here who are, because I'm talking on YouTube, who are struggling with, a few bad habits, really, and they're wondering how to solve them. So here's the root. So the root is that as human beings, we are meant to survive. Survival is our number one priority, whether you know it or not. And survival doesn't just mean breathing and drinking water all the time. What we're talking about here, which I've talked about a bit before on the channel, is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you haven't seen that before, check it out properly. It's amazing. It's all the survival things that people need in their life in order of the most important one at the bottom and going to the higher levels of survival, but it's still all survival, right? So these human needs in life, they are the root. They are the inside of this inside-out solution. They are going to be the root cause of all your issues, which is that you have to figure out which survival need is not met. Because when you've got an issue in your life emotionally, or with your habits, or with how you're showing up in the world, maybe you feel lost, maybe you feel purposeless, etc., etc., you've got a survival issue. You've got a need issue. So you have to figure out which one it is. So don't think that you've got a procrastination problem. You've got a Maslow's hierarchy of need problem, which is showing up as procrastination, and you need to work out which one it is. Don't think that you've got a loneliness problem. You've got a Maslow's hierarchy of need problem, and you need to figure out which one. Don't think that you've got a binge eating, binge drinking, smoking problem. You haven't. You've got a Maslow's hierarchy of needs problem, and you just haven't figured out which one. And so when you sort of think, oh, I've just got to stop eating, I've just got to stop smoking, well, that's not going to do anything. Because all you're doing, you're just going to go to something else. Because until the root need is met, your body and your mind will self-sabotage you. It will be shutting you down to try and let you know, hey, Chris, or hey, whoever, I've not got one of my needs met, and I'm going to make you become a needy alcoholic, or have any issue, or be lazy, or be depressed, or be burnt out, or whatever, until you realize what I'm trying to tell you here. That's what your body's saying from the inside. That's what the mindset's saying. It's trying to show you when it shows up in all these things. So like I say, you haven't got a depression problem. Most people haven't, like I say. You need to diagnose within yourself. This is not like doctor's advice, but for most people, it's not a problem that they're a bit down, they feel a bit in a rut. It's not like, well, I just need to get myself out of a rut. You need to figure out what the need is. And we could go on and on and on. You've not got a productivity problem, you've got a need problem. You've not got a discipline problem, you've got a need problem, you know? And so I really do think it's this. Because this is the thing we live by. This is what Abraham Maslow said, you know, and I truly think it's true. So what could be examples? Of course, you need to figure it out. And, you know, that's what I help people do, is I help people figure out their needs, their values, etc., to work to the inside, to the root. So if you want coaching on that, just let me know in the description on my website. But that's what you need to do. You need to figure out what is the root, because until the root need is met, you could be doing all these self-sabotaging things and it's never going to get better, sort of thing. You know, no pill is going to make you fulfill the need. No drink, no friends, no anything, right? Not if it's not hitting the need head on. So let's give some tangible examples to help you. So let's start with, you've got a problem of you're drinking too much alcohol, right? Remember now, you haven't got a drinking too much alcohol problem, you've got a need problem that's showing up this way, and it's your body trying to tell you, you need to sort out the need. And even if you sort out the alcohol, if you don't sort out the need, something else is going to happen. And that's actually what you see quite a lot with people who have one thing that they've latched onto, like alcohol, and then they'll latch onto anything. They'll latch onto, you know, being a workaholic, or, you know, going out running every day at 4 a.m, sort of thing. And it's still sort of, they haven't really fixed the root. So the root might be one of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and bearing in mind there's a lot, you know, like I say, it's not just air and water and shelter, it's things like self-esteem. What happens if you've got a self-esteem problem, which is in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you don't know it, and you think you've got an alcohol problem? Well, until you fix that self-esteem problem, once you did, you would find that you don't need a drink. Right? Okay, let's do another example. So say you've got a productivity problem, or you think, and you're like, okay, I need to be more productive. I need to be more disciplined with my work. Why am I not being productive? I've done all the productivity courses. I've read the productivity books. I've read Robin Sharma's 5 a.m. Club, and I still can't manage to be productive. But remember, you haven't got a productivity problem. You've got a need problem. And one of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which could maybe correlate with that, could be, let me think, it'll probably be one of the higher needs. So more towards that top of self-actualization, there's a feeling of sort of fulfillment and purpose as a need. So if you are lacking sort of creativity and fulfillment and purpose and stuff like this in your life, you could call it a life purpose, then you're going to have a productivity issue from that root cause problem. You know what I mean? The symptom is you're not very productive. But if you sort out that need, that's why someone like Elon Musk, I mean, to be fair to him, watch my episode on Elon Musk. I don't think he's a saint, but God, he's definitely not got a productivity problem. And that's because you can see that his need of like life purpose and mission and what he's striving for is so met. I mean, it's you can just see that in him. He has this vision and this mission for what he's doing. So the productivity comes naturally. So it's inside out again. That would be another example. And one more example just for fun. Maybe you've got a problem where you feel a bit down, you feel a bit low, you feel like your mood's a bit low, and you feel a bit depressed. Now, I'm just doing this one last just to trick you. So, you may think, oh yeah, now you've seen this video, I've got a need problem. This is happening for a reason. What's the need problem? Maybe it's that I need more intimate relationships or whatever, right? Because you think, I feel a bit lonely, I feel a bit depressed, stuff like this, whatever. It's that one, but it might not be. That's why you have to really introspect within your own life. It might be like a higher level need for creativity. Say you're working in a job that you really don't like, and you're a highly creative person, And when you have glimpses of that, you're in flow mode and you're creating and you feel like you're sort of contributing to the world. Like, maybe if you don't have that, maybe then you feel a bit low and a bit lonely and a bit lost. So it might not be an obvious need. It might be a need where you feel a bit lonely. And even if you've slightly worked this whole pattern out, you think, oh yeah, I need more community, or I need more intimate relationships or social relationships. But it might not be that, because feeling lonely and a bit lost in life could be that you don't have creativity in your life. And creativity is something that's so important to you. It's a value to you. You get creative, you're in flow mode, you create your own work, you know? So maybe you're in this dead-end job that you don't like and you've got zero creativity going on, and then that's why you feel a bit lost and lonely. Or maybe it's a higher level need in sort of self-esteem of like independence, you know? Maybe you've got a beautiful relationship, but you still feel lonely, but it's like, but I don't feel like I've got my independence. I don't think I'm allowed to do what I want to do or go where I want to go, or I feel tied down because of this, this, and this. How can I sort out that root issue of independence that now I know is important to me, so that then the feeling of being a bit down and a bit lonely will go? So it's not always obvious either. So I hope that's helped. Again, this ties in completely to last week's video, so do watch them both. This was more of a depth on how to sort out the root, whereas last week was sort of an overview of just how the issues and everything that happens in our life happens inside out, which is from, you know, root to symptom, brain, a behavior change that manifests in the body. But watch that one as well. Don't want to overcomplicate things. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to know if that was helpful. I'd encourage you to read Abraham Maslow's books, or all his work and stuff. I think he's fantastic. A brilliant thinker, and still very important today. Check out my website, christopherdavidmitchell.com. The link will be down below. If you want to book a coaching call, what I do with people is I get to the root. Because that's what I had to do with my own life, you know. Throughout my own journey and my own troubles, I remember experimenting with things and I was like, oh, I've just been out with loads of friends and I still feel the same the next day. Or I've just nailed something at work, but I still feel the same. And then you have to sort of, and then I've been doing my research, and obviously, you know, I'm a personal development coach, and everything I've been through over the years with overcoming the adversity and the life-saving experiences, you know, you got to see the world this way, inside out. And so what I do is I help people find that through sort of assessments and very soul-searching exercises, which is great, because it might be more difficult to do than just a quick external solution, like, you know, I'll just, you know, take some medication to help this external problem. But it's always a root thing that creates the most change in you. So thinking this way, sorting out your Maslow's hierarchy of needs, ideally sort of in order, because you don't want any big gaps. That will come back to bite you on the ass. But if you can do that, you will notice that every behavior change, every behavior that you don't like will just sort of go. Every problem that you think you've sort of got will sort of go. Every emotional problem, you know, anything that you sort of don't like is probably manifesting because you haven't got one of these needs in your life. So, like I say, let me know in the description if this was helpful. You can share out to a friend. Hopefully it'll be helpful for them too. And yeah, let me know in the comments if it was helpful, and just any thoughts. I'd love to get back to you and help you out further. But until next time, take care and speak to you soon.